Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Between You and I podcast. I'm Carrie Akre.
And I'm Ryan Lane.
And we thank you for listening and spreading the word on the podcast. And we've just gotten back into the podcast after a couple years. And today I want to talk about what I'm calling the in-between, which is sort of liminal space when you're going through massive transformation, which could be many things, but it's that kind of transformation that's like a life leveler. You know, you have that time in your life where a bunch of massive things happen that force change, force you to sit down, force you to be quiet, and that could be a lot of different things. That could be grief, someone close to you in your family or your partner or anybody, grief, passing away, right? You could be grieving like the end of a job. We know a lot of people who are caught,
For sure.
a lot of layoffs going on. Could be the end of a marriage, right? Or your kids going off to college, anything that's like a pivotal moment where even yourself probably knows like something on a bigger level is happening or changing in my life. And we've all been through that,
Yeah. I mean, I'm not right at this moment, but I'm getting anxious just thinking about it.
Sorry. Whereas I'm in the thick of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So for me, I have had a massive life pivot. I'm in a massive life pivot. And luckily, I feel like I know these things happen I can see the purpose. I can see the lessons. I'm not saying I'm loving it or that it's easy, because it's not. It's devastation and renewal all at the same time, which is brutal. And so I'm using very heavy words, I realize, but sometimes it just is that, like, I just want to get across the feeling of just like the kind of amount of change that completely shifts your whole paradigm. I think
Yeah.
mine actually started 13 years ago when my mom died. So I think I'd had things change. Everybody has like the things going on, but that was the first, I think, leveler for me. My mom is the only one who, in my book, has known me my whole life or been with me my whole
Right.
life. She was a single mom until I was 8, and then she married my stepdad. But that was one of the first things that came to my mind when she passed. She's like the only person who's borne witness to my whole life. She was also the pillar in our family that I think was the kind, reasonable buffer. And, later I realized her buffer set me free to, probably set any of the kids free or me free to like not have to worry about family dynamics or our childhood, anything we might have had a problem with, but weren't allowed to say in my childhood. I didn't have to think about it. So I could go off on my merry way and do things like join bands and crazy things she would never do. But one thing I appreciate my mom is my mom never got in my way. She never poo-pooed in any fashion my life choices. I think there was a couple times where she was like, "What?" Like, but I'm a different
That's what a
breed
mom
than
should
her.
do. Sometimes there's going to be questions.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's hard when you're a different generation. Like I think I'm a chain breaker of a long ancestral line of women who have had to live a certain way or be responsible for things. And so I believe there's a lot of women in the Gen X era that are chain breakers that are making the decision to do differently, which is also part of what's happening right now. But her passing was the beginning of a lot of domino effect of having to take a look at my family, having to look at my childhood, make decisions or admit to things I just hadn't had to think about, like who's healthy in the family. Has anyone been kind? What does love look like? What should it look like? What does a loving family actually look like? And do I have that? And then those, if you so choose, like those decisions to.
Yeah. Do you feel like you've had to pick up the torch with your mother's being gone and try to be like, well, what would she be doing? Like try to be her part in your family, or you're still your own person?
No, hell no. That's the kind of the chain breaking is like she caretaked a lot of people. I'll say this though, I have done that in my own family. Like my mom, like a lot of women, I think, or, maybe moms, I know not all moms are great, but, like, she made the Christmases amazing, right? Like, she looked to do the special things. She brought the warmth to the house. She cared for people who were broken, like, had already gone through, like she brought love. She brought a lot of
Mhm.
warmth and love, patient person, like a listener, like, she just was reasonable, right? And she made a lot of effort. She made a lot of effort around holidays or visiting or cards or, you know, towards the end of her life, she did a lot of, like, quilt making for people or gave them away for free or just
It's
a lot
nice.
of care. Yeah.
Yeah. She was very giving.
She's very giving,
Mhm.
and to people who I don't like, to the point, though, where I don't think she wasn't confrontative, right? Like, her choice, right? She wasn't a confrontational person. She wasn't there disciplining people. She wasn't getting down into the nitty-gritty of, like, behavior, to my chagrin. Like, like, which is where I'm different, right? Like, I'm not it's hard for me to not see. That's just my
Mhm.
nature, right? To be like and I remember when she was alive, like, there'd be things siblings would be doing where I was like, "That's hot bullshit. What why aren't you what? Like, what are you why aren't you calling them out? Why aren't you, like" and that just wasn't her thing, right? Like, she wasn't going to do that. But when she passed, I just had this moment where I was like, "Oh, now it's just us. Now I'm just with oh god, now I gotta take a look at the family," or now I'm just with them, right?
Mhm.
And I didn't feel at home. I didn't feel this is turning into a whole other podcast about my childhood, but, like, it was a leveler. I'll tell you this, it was a leveler. Like,
Mhm.
I think also, it's the start of me taking a look at people and setting up boundaries or deciding what is healthy and what is actual love, and if it's not, and if it's harmful, choosing not to put up with that, and difficult
Uh,
choices of,
uh,
like
Good choices, though, important to do in your life.
yeah,
It's so easy to overextend and let people get in there,
yeah.
take advantage of you, so it's nice to set boundaries.
Or not say anything and allow continued behavior, right? Which
Mhm.
means you're allowing that behavior, especially if it's at you, you're allowing it by
Right.
not saying no or not saying anything. And I'm not able to endure that or ignore. I think my mom would just either let it go or uh I don't know if she stuffed it. She said she would just let it go. And I don't have the brain for that. And so it just began the first round of lessons on boundaries, no contact, trusting your gut. Like, sometimes someone's behavior, you're like, "I can't put my finger on it, but that doesn't seem right." Right?
Right, right. It's important because, like, I think people do a really good job of judging if somebody's, like, safe or not or healthy or things
Yeah.
like that, and sometimes we still like, "Ah, it can't be right. I'm gonna let this person have a little bit more room in my life," and then you're like, "Oh, nope. I was right."
Let's take another smack to the head. Are you ready now? Are you ready
Yeah.
to take a look? Yeah, things like that. Or you love that person. You wish they were going to be the person you need or a healthy person. That's hard. The
That is
disappointment and
hard, yeah.
hurt was harder. Like,
Mhm,
I wish I wish so many things. I wish they had had a different experience so that they were different, or healthier, but
mhm.
they had a certain experience. Or I wish, this person was healthy and loving and saw me, but something's not right and they're harmful. Their behavior is harmful and they're not going to change. Like, I just ran into, covert narcissism or mental health or just, people who were like, I just don't want to have a relationship with you or just haven't. Like, it's not an active,
Mhm.
like, dislike, but like,
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
just,
those things are all enough. What you just listed is like, that's more than enough to
yeah,
have a bad relationship. Yeah.
yeah. And I could caretake, I could whatever, but I just chose me after a while. I just was like, this is draining me. This is hurting me. This is dark already, right? Like, the dark of
Mhm,
it, I think, I just can't after a while just get drained and that's not going to lead to anything good. So sometimes you just have to choose yourself. And,
for sure.
plenty of people, especially if they're unhealthy, are going to call that selfish. They're going to craft their own story. They're not going to want to look or you're crazy. What are you
Mhm.
doing? Or, talk shit about you.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I always use the metaphor of like, you got to put the oxygen mask on yourself when the airplane
Mhm.
masks come down. Because it's like if you don't do it, you might not be available to help the person that needs the help next to you that relies
Yeah.
on you. And you've got to do that in your own life all the time. You've got to constantly like, okay, it's time for me to make sure that I'm doing okay. so that I can be helpful.
Yeah, and you're responsible for your life. Like,
Yeah.
in my c so I do coaching or have done coaching more actively a couple years ago, but one of my things was, like, I love to give the hug and the smack, which just sounds terrible, but the hug and the smack is like, you deserve, uh, health and happiness and good love and all of that, and then the
Right.
smack is like, "You're responsible for you. This does ultimately end up in your lap, like, what are you
Hmm.
choosing?" Even if it's hard, and I say that with compassion, things aren't easy, but, like, the change lies in your lap. The decision, the trusting yourself, the trusting your intuition or the getting the help or, if you're unsure, looking for professionals that can help you understand or tell you what you're seeing or tell you about yourself even.
Hmm.
It's not like I'm perfect or anything, like, I come with my own garbage, but help, just asking for help too, like, "Am I hearing this right? What is this? What do you call that?" Like,
Yeah. I'm
a
pretty bad
lot of
at that
that.
myself, so I understand.
Are
It's
you?
like, yeah, I need to be better at it.
What do you mean in terms of the self-help or getting help?
Asking for help sometimes. I mean, when I do,
Yeah,
it's always a positive experience. When even in like the little things, you ask a neighbor for to like help out with something. They're always, they're there and they're great. And it's like, but then often I'm just like, I don't want to trouble people. I can just do this myself. It's just like
so
very
Gen X.
it's that rugged
S
individualism, that I don't believe in, but I
Yeah,
do it. Yeah.
yeah. So Gen X though, right? Like, you gotta figure
Oh
it
yeah.
out. Well, I'm
Yeah.
asking.
I mean, that's how we were raised.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, you're on your own. Go do what you want to do.
but I bet in some ways we crave support and circle and love and help. I think that's human.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it feels good when you're like when you get an answer or you get a
Mhm.
hug or you get some well, maybe the hug first feels uncomfortable, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I
It all
don't know what to
depends. Yeah.
do with this."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's big things and there's so many things in the thing, and definitely when my mom passed, there was a level of grief that leveled me down. Like, I just was in survival mode. I was the sole breadwinner of my family at the time. We didn't live in a city with family. I didn't want my six-year-old at the time to see me fall apart. I didn't wanna scare him. I actually got laid off, and so during that time, had to go get another job, and
Oh,
you compartmentalize a lot, right? Like, I was great in some ways, I was grateful for the need to go find another job because I know how to
yeah, it's a
do that,
distraction. Yeah, you can like, well, I can focus on this emergency and
things to do.
put the other one away for a while.
Yeah. But I also God, I was barely hanging on, like, I had anxiety, panic, I was on medication, like, just trying
Mhm.
to keep it together. Like, I was responsible for so many things, and my rug had been pulled out from under me, and it was awful. It was awful. It's the time of my life I think I buffered with wine a lot. That's just a massive amount of pressure and grief. God, it's just a hot mess.
Yeah, it
Har
sounds like a hard time. Was it unexpected? Like, did she have
Mhm.
health issues or just happened quickly?
It was unexpected. She had a massive aneurysm. But here's the thing, so I'm a hopeful person by nature. I'm just built that way. So I very quickly, as also a survival mechanism, would look for the tiny, tiny good things like synchronicities. So, for instance, when she passed, we were living in Minneapolis at the time, and I happened to be in Seattle, and my family lives in did live in the Tri-Cities, which is Eastern Washington State. It's like 3
Yep.
hours away, 3 and a half. So I happened to be in Seattle. I got a phone call at a restaurant. I had just played a show. Can I just say there's pictures from that show that I just can't look at because I look at me and I go, "Oh, you don't know yet."
Oh, yeah,
Ugh,
that'd be
that's gonna
hard.
make me get sad.
Yeah. If you want us to pause, we can take a
No,
little
it's
pause
okay.
and come back. All right.
It's just sort of like before and after.
Mhm.
Whew. See, it's like it comes back sometimes. I got a call and they were like, it was, something's happened to your mom. So I drove to my stepsister's house. We had to drive. My brother was there. Uh, I drove. Nobody could or wanted to drive. So I got in the car and drove. And we don't know. Like she's had some people can have an aneurysm or a stroke and like it means rehabilitation.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
like, so you don't know.
Yeah.
And again, you can see something to do, give me something to do. That's my kind of my a bit of my
Mhm.
coping. And then about an hour out of the Tri-Cities, my stepbrother told me she wasn't coming back
Yeah.
while I'm
It's
driving. So it's just like, you're just I got pulled over 45 minutes because I was going like 95, just
uh-huh.
because at that point, instantly I was like, I got to get there before she actually dies, right? She's on a ventilator. And so I got pulled over. He thought he could smell alcohol. It might have been on my brother. I don't know. But he had me do all the walking or whatever. And I told him, I was like, my mom's had an aneurysm. It was at Cadillac, which is in Richland. We're just trying to get there before she
Mhm.
passes. And so I remember him having a cross tattooed on his arm. And I just thought, please don't take me to jail. Right? Like, oh my
Yeah,
God. And he
you're
just
like,
was like,
I just need to get there. I don't
yeah,
need to be here right now."
don't be some dick cop that I got to
Mhm.
deal with right now. I was like, I don't know what kind of, he seemed young and I was like, oh God. But he said, okay, just drive slow. You don't need something else terrible to happen. And I was like,
Which
fair.
is good
So
advice, yeah. You're like,
was really kind.
you're gonna
Yeah.
get there pretty quick anyways.
Yeah.
Don't
I mean,
speeding, not
yeah.
necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I blew zero. It wasn't like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's not the case here. And so we got there. She was on a ventilator, right? Like I just remember sleeping at the hospital because there was no way my brother and I slept at the hospital. There's no way
Mhm.
I was going to leave. Like, neither my brother. So he spent the night we wanted time with them. Actually, funny enough, the family was like, you and Eric should have time with her. Eric, I think, spent the night talking to her, like, and I slept, and then we waited till my uncle got there, the rest of the family, and then we had to make the decision to take her off the ventilator. I mean, she wasn't coming back. She was brain dead, so
Right, right.
and she would never have wanted us to, like, have her. I could just hear her pragmatic voice going, "Oh, come on."
Yeah. I'm in the same boat. I'm like, "Hey, if I'm got just let me go, guys. Like,
Yeah.
don't drag me on just to have me around."
She's not co there's no there's nothing. She would just be there. I remember, it's when you have shocking things happen, it's interesting what comes out. I remember I walked in the room, the first thing I said was, "I just like you so much." And I kept saying that over and over again. And you're just in shock, right? And so we waited till the next day my uncle showed up. We took her off the ventilator, all the stuff.
Mhm.
And then they were like, "Well, it just, the body will wind down." So, uh,
Yep. Yeah.
we just were there. And I remember, um, I appreciate my stepsister and my sister-in-law, like, they really, like, they're very good under pressure, like, details. So they went and got all blankets, like, her things, quilts, pictures of the grandkids, like, they really were excellent at that. And then I just remember it was the day after Mother's Day. It was noon, and I looked at the
Mhm.
clock and I said, "Go get my uncle, she's going. Like, this is it." And
Mhm.
we sang to her. She had told me she wanted me to sing at some she had told me this at some point. Oh god, I'm gonna forget a song anyways, like a hymn, or it's well known. Blanking out on it.
I don't know hymns very well, so I can't, give you
No, but
some
you'd know
ideas.
it. You'd know it. It's not like it's anyways. So we
Yeah.
sang the verse of that.
You think I would know hymns after 8 years of Catholic school, but
Yeah. Well, not like
no.
traditional. It's a I guess I wanna call it a hymn. Maybe it's just a song, but,
Oh.
um, I'll remember it at some point anyway. But it was a big deal. I mean, not to be morbid on the podcast, but, I watched the blood drain from her. Like, I stood right at her and had my hand on her chest, like, whispered, "It's okay to go." You wanna say things,
Mhm.
and then it was the minute she passed, like, it's for me, what I thought, it was so wild to see someone go from someone of a body that to a corpse, like a body,
Yeah.
like blood not flowing, you know what I mean? And that was shocking to me.
Yeah,
Or
it's never easy because it's like, you can tell, like, I don't a lot of people maybe haven't experienced it. It's like there's a difference, in how
what they
somebody's
look like.
yeah, and, like, if they're present or well or not, and it's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's not a good experience. I've only had to deal with it a couple times, and it's hard.
Oh, right, if you never have, like, you're like, Like, yeah. So then, I just was numb, I'd say for a long, long time. Like you're just because you're in shock. Again, I appreciate my stepsister and sister-in-law handled details of like funerals and announcements and
That's
wrote
nice.
things. I could not have done that. I couldn't do that at the time. I think I sat in the cemetery like outside and, call me in when we're picking out the urn. You know what I mean? Like I was
Hmm.
such in such a daze. We had like a gathering at the house. Then we had her memorial, right? I really appreciated band members came, friends came, which I just thought was a testament to her. I mean, there's so many band members who stayed at the house like while we were on tour. So and a lot of people showed up. Yeah.
That's nice. It seems like she was well loved then.
Yeah, for sure. And then we drove back to Minneapolis and I just, no one's prepared for that, right? So you don't realize the waves. It takes time and the waves of things, like the things that will dawn on you, like the only person who's known me my whole life is gone. This is what this means, right? Like, and all the while, like life is still going on, right?
Yeah, that's the hardest part.
So you can't act normal, trying to act normal. Like, I mean,
Hmm.
I tried to act because I had to, like I had to function. Anywho, we eventually decided to move back to Seattle. Part of me was because I just needed people, my people. Like we had some friends in Minneapolis, but no family was there. Also, sort of a moment where it was like, are we going to grow Orion up away from any family, at the
Hmm.
time? Um, Anyhow, oh, it's giving me a headache. Anywho, sorry. Like it's
Yeah.
just,
No, it sounds
it's
like you're
heavy.
saying it's the start of dealing with a lot of big life changes. You had this pretty significant. I mean, it's a
Hmm.
huge thing to lose a parent. It's like both mine are still alive, and
Hmm.
I'm thankful for that.
Hmm.
It's like my mother, even though she keeps getting older, she's still very active and doing a lot of stuff all the time.
Do you have a good relationship with your mom?
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's nice.
she doesn't live that far from me, which is funny. Funny, so I don't actually see her as often as I
Yeah.
could because she's like a 10-minute drive away, which is so. Part of me is like, oh, well, she's too close. I gotta. It's too convenient. I gotta keep my
Yeah.
space.
Well, I thought that too. Like my mom would call me every day at work, and I remember at the time I was like, kind of, you should appreciate this or whatever. I just didn't have a lot to say. And it
Yeah,
was brutal going back to work to that desk and looking at the phone and being like, blah, blah. That's painful. Sorry. That's why I'm going blah, blah and trying to avoid it.
yeah, yeah.
So I just, that's a start of that's the 2013, life goes on. We moved, uh, right. Raising a child, right. Like all the things.
Hmm.
I definitely feel like there was a good, for other reasons as well that have for other reasons, for me, those are the wine years. Like I definitely was coping. It's a lot. Like I realize now to parent, to work, parent, grieve, try and be creative. You're just trying to muck your way through it and try and live all the
Hmm.
same. Like be alive, feel good, do things like most recently. So this is more of a leveler because I think I kept looking for like tiny places to make things okay. Like, oh, well, I have, this is sad, but I have my son,
Hmm.
or oh, I have my little family. Or as I took a look at like who remained, there was either in my family, like people I've just never had a relationship with, like no harm, no foul, or to people who were toxic. And so I currently don't speak to anyone in my family. And it's
Okay.
not all because there's active, like, harm of a couple people. There's some harmful behavior that I just can't be around and I do not think is gonna change. That's, I guess.
Yeah.
Sometimes I question myself, like, go have that conversation. I get torn between, um, do do you actually think that person's gonna change? And from what I know from behaviors, highly unlikely. But I will say I've gotten pretty protective of myself, so I haven't had a ton of those conversations. So
Yeah.
sometimes I think about that, like,
Yeah.
maybe you should try and repair.
It's always a tough one. It's like, I mean, I have some family members where, put a lot of distance between us. And I think that's the healthiest thing to do.
Yeah. Well,
It's
sometimes
hard.
Yeah.
because there were definitely good times there here and there, but there's a lot of
Yeah.
a lot of other stuff that happens. You're like, I can't, I can't be part of that.
Yeah, and sometimes for me, I realized the places I was so enmeshed, like some of it was about me, like old things. Like in this relationship, I feel smaller. I don't feel seen. And oh, that's old. Like I didn't realize that. Or oh, look at the way you've minimalized like the harm in order to keep a connection because you want love and you want it to be good. There's all those kind of lessons. Or someone's out and out harmful and you don't want that to be the case, but there will be nothing you can do about it, and so you gotta go save yourself or protect yourself, and that's not what I would prefer at all. Learning a lot about mental health, all kinds of mental things like narcissism, covert, borderline personality disorder potentially, like those and what those things entail and what you can expect from those things, and again, it would be reliant on the other people to be like, is a person with that kind of quality or mental thing going to be able? Are they going to reflect? Are they going
Hmm.
to? And some of these are like highly unlikely in evidence to their responses that I have seen, you know?
Yeah, it's always difficult when there's mental health issues involved. Like, how do you want to keep that relationship going? It's like, because you have to take care, you got to protect yourself, because like otherwise they
Yeah.
can suck you into their world, and that's not healthy.
Such a hard decision.
Hmm.
Like the going no contact, not, I mean, nothing easy about that.
Yeah.
Nothing yay about that. Like, kind of feels unended. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
oh, that's not the resolution I wanted. I wanted a healthy, happy, oh, we resolved it, solved it. It's like, nope,
Yeah. But you
that's
can't
not going to
fix them.
happen.
They got to fix themselves. That's the hard part. So you're like, it's like, if you get better, I would definitely spend more time, bring you into my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a loving person. Like, I am. And
Hmm.
that's not a decision I want to make. At times, I've also been just ill equipped. Like, uh, we were raised where you weren't allowed to say your piece or be angry or like, like your voice wasn't heard, valued, seen, qualified. So I will say that's a muscle I'm not very good at. There have been times I've uh, definitely triggered defensive because trust is such a big thing and not well exercised, even within myself, right? Like, so lots of things to look at that I still think about, like if I'm a good, or if to take a look at that and I'm good within myself, then I can have the conversation and learn how to have those conversations
Hmm.
and withstand disappointment or good things or patience or just the uncomfortable. Nobody likes confrontation. It's highly uncomfortable.
I feel like I know a couple people that like confrontation in their lives, but
Do you?
I don't like to be around those people.
Are they healthy about it
I mean, that's a
or
tough one
not?
to put it.
Well, there's a difference,
Is it
right?
healthy? Yeah, I guess if they're helping people, and saying like they're confronting people with their issues, then yeah. I definitely have one
Well,
friend who I feel like is healthy. They are
yeah.
very much like, you got to deal with your shit. Here's the thing. Like they'll point out exactly what's wrong in your life, like right to it. And you're like, like this is really uncomfortable. Like, I don't want to hang out with you as a friend, but like, but you're being truthful, in
Do
that
you
context.
trust them? Are they coming
100%
from
in that
okay,
case. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the difference. Is
Hmm.
this coming from someone your nervous system trusts? Like, and that trust is based on evidence, right? So
Yeah.
if I enter into a conversation with someone I know has minimalized, well, one, not answered for their behavior, minimalizes your feelings about it, being on the receiving end of their behavior that wasn't, like if you're people's behaviors tells you a lot, right? Like, so it's hard
Hmm.
to wade in and go, I don't think this person can meet me trustably with the intent of healing forward, right? Like, you got to
Right.
actually have to be able to do that. I definitely struggle with uncomfortable with someone who's going to be mean or, I mean, I'm just saying I'm not very good at it. Like, mean or come at me. I feel highly vulnerable. I feel like I don't have that muscle that I'm
Hmm.
just going to be flailing out there getting the shit kicked at. You know what I mean? Like, I get so I've been working at it. I've been, trying to, because again, it's when you've had no this is the thing why I'm like, if you've had no training on how to have discourse or disagreement or get it, like building that muscle to have your opinion, it does feel very vulnerable. Like you don't like, oh, I don't know how to do that. And I'm just going to walk into the arena and get the crap beat out of me and freeze. You know what I mean? Like you don't have the muscle within. That's why, look, with my son, I'm highly motivated to tell him to have his opinion, say the opinion, say your thing out loud, and tell him he's in a safe space to do so and prove that to him
Yeah, that's important.
so that he can build that muscle in his body to
Uh-huh.
say, oh, my body knows it's safe for me to say what I think. It's at a body level that,
Right, right.
somatic, like that was never safe for us in our family. That was not something you could do, was taught to do, evidenced, zero. The one time I think I mouthed off, I was being snotty, is the only time my mother hit me.
Hell yeah.
And that right there, I was like, "Oh, we don't," it's not like and it was nobody followed up with like, maybe sorry, I don't remember. Or I don't know, there just was no training on why are
Mhm,
you saying that? That's, hey, for me that sounds rude, but are you upset? Like what's wrong? Or y- I'm going to tell you that's not cool to talk about a parent, blah blah blah. Getting in there at all. Nobody got in there. Was like, "Oh, too hard." So,
mhm.
I think a lot of that plays out for me at least when it comes to confrontation, but I have worked hard at it. I think it started in bands where I was like, you're going to need to know how to have discourse or disagree or state your opinion, especially when it's your music or especially in my book, as a woman, to be able to get in and state what you want.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm a work, anyways, everybody's a work in progress. Um,
Yeah, I think doing any collaborative art stuff is hard. It's like 'cause everybody's kinda got their 'cause everybody's got their own opinion first off for
yeah,
sure, and how
yeah,
things should go and their own taste and their own styles. And you just
yeah,
like that's what makes it sometimes beautiful. They're like, "We're all gonna work together and we're gonna make this amazing stuff together, guys."
yeah,
Like how important the Beatles were, and they weren't together that long. When you look back, you're like, it was only a few years, guys. And
right.
they couldn't stand each other after that. But still, they did good stuff.
And they had different ways, right? Like,
Yeah.
everybody's creative bent is gonna be a little different. You're right, there is negotiation in it in terms of for so many reasons in a band, like, if it's a unified sound or if you're gonna decide you have a unified sound, or are you gonna be eclectic and every single member who has a bit of a different style is gonna contribute. You have to agree to that, right? Like,
Mhm.
just what you're saying, like, it's multiple artists in one room is gonna be multiple things, so but that I think for me, it started there, learning how to do that, and then accelerate to now. And, in some areas, I feel like I'm much better at that. And in some areas, I'm sort of like, where do I give my energy and where do I not? Where do I just know and just not? Make a
Mhm.
choice. No, it's okay if you make a choice. No, if you make a mistake. It's okay if you make a mistake. But I feel like every lesson, I swear, has been addressing different areas of my life. So, my family, uh, bands, that relationship, and then most recently in the last year, I uh, made the choice to get divorced or start that process. Um, after a 17, 18-year marriage,
Mhm.
um, and that was another thing to look at. You know what I mean? Like that relationship, things that had happened, like how I am in a relationship, and what has brought on, I think, a very devastating in between time. One, I feel like I made the right decision. I've always known that. I think me and my ex agree. But it was the last container of family that
Mhm.
I had, right? Like, so for me, that was that's a big that's a big
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. You've pulled up the anchor now. There's nothing left. It's just you floating around, right?
That's what it feels like. Yeah. So it's like, I made the decision, thought I could live in the house. Our son turns 18 this month. He was already, moving into that independence.
Mhm.
But some of the decision for me was I needed to move out. I needed to reclaim myself. I needed to get out the dynamic. I feel like being in proximity, I couldn't find the space like in the house to be and get, like do this process. So I moved out. I'm not that far. I'm 5 minutes away, but I hadn't planned on not my son's independence,
Uh-huh.
of which is a good thing. But in one fell swoop, I'm ending a marriage. I moved out of the house that I've been part of managing
Mhm.
here, at least for 11 years, away from my son, which I was kind of my bond. Like, I'm not doing that, but I needed to. He was a supportive,
Yeah.
but
He's at the right age to be his own
yeah,
independent as well. You guys are both going your independent routes together.
yeah. But and that's good, right? That's a good thing.
Mhm.
I know he loves me, but I don't see him because he's in his end. I mean, I've tried, you know what I mean? Like, but
Mhm.
it started to dawn on me, like, he wants to be on his own. And so I
Right.
hadn't planned to be like, in 1 year, what you had as a paradigm is gone. Like, in a little bit, the thing I was holding on to, because I wanted marriage, I wanted home. I still want that. I still want partnership, home, things like that. But now
Sure.
I'm taking a look at all of it, right? So in that decision, which still feels correct, and in this like, oh, and my son's independence, it's just brought on this liminal space, purposeful, that has been demolishing. It's like the last of the wall I've taken down, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
The last of the construct that wasn't. Sometimes I just look at life and I go, F you, come on, like, but that's not true. It's not life like randomly coming at me. There are reasons. Let me say, this in between space has given me a lot of time to like think and look and see my own patterns and the why of things and what I don't like and the things that have happened. Like, that's what this time is for. So the whole point of this podcast, I thought, today was
That's
to
the
talk
intro,
about, right? That
everybody.
was just the
Yeah.
intro, just like a half an hour. How long we had? Like 40-minute intro, was just to touch base and just say, like, for anyone who's going through this, like, I'm in it right now, this in between liminal space based on massive transformation. I hang an anchor on knowing it's correct for me, but it requires the demolishing of what felt like what I thought, and it's not true, but what I thought, the last safe circle, foundational thing I had going on in my life. And now I don't.
Mhm.
Um, and but really believe this is what transformation is, to something that is needed and is going to be much better, right? And it's self knowledge, learning, returning to self.
Yeah.
I made a
You get
list
to
of.
do it how you wanna do it, now again. So you get now with all of this life experience, you can, like, take that and be like, "Okay, well, here's how I can make my life exactly what I want it to be."
For sure. And some of that, but the first part of it is wading through the terror, because
Mhm.
I'm 59. I had initial like psychological, like, oh, I had a family, I had a foundation. That's which I do,
Yeah, you
right?
still
Like,
do have a family, you
yeah,
still do have a foundation that you are yourself, established.
yes, and look,
You're the foundation to your son still, like, even though he's trying to do his own
yes,
thing, if
yeah,
something goes wrong, he'll come back and just be like, "Okay, I just need to stay here for a little while." That happens all the time with people's kids.
yes, and I hang on to that knowledge. Like, I'm like, tell me
Yeah.
that again, Ryan. Just tell me, like, can you tell me that 10 times? Text
Yeah,
that today. Yeah,
yeah. He's
because
gonna be independent, but he still needs you. Yeah.
yes, and I'm telling you, I need to hear it all the time because it's in my heart. Like, I'm like, it's hard. Like, it's hard to not see him every day. Like, it's
Mhm.
unfathomable to me. But I
Yeah,
know that that's how a lot of people feel when kids go off to college. I mean, here's a child I've cared for like 18 years,
yeah.
like actively been in my, like
Mhm.
it,
Yeah, I broke my mom's heart when I moved out at, like, 14, 15. I was around there.
you did?
I decided to go live with my dad, and we had he was just like a dad that I saw once a year type of thing, so it was a big life
Yeah.
change. Put a
Yeah.
lot of pressure on my father to actually try to raise a teenager, which he's wasn't the best at, but, that's
Yeah.
just that. But and I didn't realize how hard it was for my mother until I was an adult with a child, and I look back at it and I was like, wow, that was probably really, really challenging. Like, she was
Oh.
really upset, and I didn't understand. I thought she was just going to miss me. But I did move, like, across the country. I ended up in New Jersey while she was in Seattle. So Yeah.
It's you're I mean, there's no love like your child, like just loving your child and liking your child. Like, I'm sure she liked you. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
taking care of you, but like
Yeah.
having that
Yeah, we
relation,
were
there's unlike anything.
yeah, we were like buds, you know, she
Oh
was,
my
like,
gosh.
trying to do her best.
Yeah. Well, and that's my thing is I love my kid. Like my kid's interesting. I like him.
Mhm.
And I just I'm like, I want to hear about what you're doing every day, but that's not the moment this is, and I need to let it be that, and I am.
Yeah.
And but I wanted to say to anyone else who's in something like this or some formation of this, um, how important it is to take care of yourself. And I had made this whole list, Ryan, of like all kinds of things, like just to tell people, like, have faith in yourself, like, take the time. Don't be afraid of the pain, like I'm like, okay, if it's going to happen, then I'm actively taking, you know what I mean? Like, I am actually pretty good at that. Like going, well, it's here and there's no avoiding the devastation. I'm going to do my best, right? Like whatever the best is. But for me right now, it's been a lot of like quiet, alone time, a bit of isolation because I'm thinking, I want to learn. I want to make, I want to get everything out of this moment that I need to learn. But I'm also learning a lot about the havoc massive transformation does to your nervous system.
Yeah. It's a lot to do all the things that you're doing at once. I mean, it is hard.
Yeah, I'm like, like to do a massive change like this and be in menopause, holy hell. Any woman listening is like, what? Oh my God. Like, so, just taking care of yourself. So a lot of the things I've, learned around that is for me is to like minimalize everything. I just have chosen a lot of alone time because I want to think, I want to feel it, I want to let it come up. I wanna then, but I have support, like, I've therapists and,
Mhm.
I've always been, like, a huge reader, self-help reader, like, whatever, like, I journal a lot, so
I
um
was gonna comment on the books behind you, but I forgot they're fake.
these are fake, yeah, but this is what it would look like if I had
Yeah.
a it's in stacks over here, actually. Some of the things I learned that I thought might be helpful are to support your nervous system, if anybody needs this, is one, having self-compassion, right? And if you need to minimize life as best you can. Some people might be running houses and kids and all of that, but is to just at your forefront keep in mind, even if it's just your own voice, to have self-compassion, to have patience. And then when you can, take private moments. Again, anybody who's busy, it's like bathroom, car,
So
room,
important. Yeah.
a walk, like parks, get it where you can, let it come out, let it come up. Don't be afraid to cry. I cry all the freaking time, as is evidence today. And just slowly, like, and just remember, like, it will pass.
Mhm.
Like, I have to remind myself that all the time. I think what's hard about the liminal space is like, you're out of what ended, but you're not yet in the new. And like I told you, it's only recently that I've been feeling like, okay, I need one thing I'm doing. So the podcast, right?
Mhm.
I need one thing that is a creative outlet. I need one foot, you know what I mean? One foot on the footing forward. So that's what I really like about this. Other things about like nervous system, like slow down, quiet care, but like warmth. That means like your room, blankets, hot baths, showers, warm food, warm whatever's cozy for you, warmth, quiet, minimalize the noise if you can, and breathing things like 4 in, hold it, 6 out, like, it calms the nervous system. Tapping, like, tapping if
Oh,
you're
yeah.
doing, or there's the whole tapping, and I wanna put links into a bunch of these things
Yeah.
into the podcast.
Yeah, we'll put them in the notes.
Hugs, like hugging yourself, having your friend hug you, make sure you have if you can, count the safe person or people, like your even if it's just a counselor, but make sure they're safe and trustable.
Mhm.
Count I mean, you're making if you're gonna make change, make it count, I guess, in my book.
Oh, for sure. I mean, yeah. Like you're saying, it's like, gotta make sure you got the core, like, things, like, do you have food, clothing, and shelter?
Yeah.
Great. Check those off.
Yeah.
Now make them as good as you can.
Yeah.
If you can, like make it an enjoyable space for yourself.
Well, and listen to yourself. Yourself will tell you, right? Like, I would say number one, that, like, just listen to yourself. Ask yourself, like, even if yourself just says, like, I don't know, like, then that's what your answer is. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, I spent definitely months and I just needed this. I didn't feel bad where I sat and looked out the window. I just needed that.
Yeah. See,
I'm
I
like,
had
I'm
to
going to
make
let
an
it all fall
excuse. I'm like,
apart.
I like birds and I take pictures of birds.
Yeah.
That's my excuse to go look out the window or go outside.
Hmm. I love that you do that.
Yeah.
I love that.
It turned into a whole thing. Didn't expect that part.
Yeah. But everybody finds their thing. Like you found, hey, this is soothing to me.
Hmm.
Um, and then just, good friends and reminders that it's going to be okay. But in the in between is rough. Like you're not there yet. You're out of this, but you're not there yet. And you may be swimming in fear, like fear, worry, sadness, and just try and let yourself feel it and be nice to yourself. Write about it. Journaling's huge for me. Just teeny tiny steps. Like I've read so much advice around like no big things during the liminal time between massive transformation.
Right.
Nothing big, no big decisions. We're talking sleep, warm things, go to your work, come home. Like my life has been literally like try and sleep because menopause F's my sleep up
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
and then put some nervous system shit on it. Like, oh my God. But sleep, go to work because I got to pay rent, come home, read a book, go to bed. Like, I know that maybe that sounds pathetic, but that's what I've needed.
I think
Like,
that's
I
part of
can't.
the goal. It's like, it's okay. You got to be a little boring for a little while because you got to reassess
Yeah.
to then grow again. It's like when you're painting a painting, you start with a white canvas and you sit there and you stare at it. You don't just be like, sometimes you know what you want to make, sometimes you don't. Or like in your case, I'm sure with making
Yeah.
music, like if you're like, do you just like sit down and be like, I'm going to write a new song? Or do you actually, it actually comes to you at some point and you're like, oh, I got to put these notes down somewhere.
Yeah.
Because your life is at the same stage. Like it'll start to kick in and start to fill in those. Like when you start with a good baseline of being a little bit
Mm-hmm.
boring and comfortable, the
Mm-hmm.
other stuff slots in really easily.
I'm glad you said that actually, because I mean, I am trying, we had a little talk before we started this. I'm trying not to overthink. I am an overthinker. I am a Gen X person who's been in hypervigilance in my whole life, right? Like I want to trust in the universe. I want to trust my gut. I want to let go. I want to see some magic. Like I don't want to have freaking fun. And
Hmm.
for me, I gotta let I'd like fun just to happen and the rest, I don't know. I'd like to live like that a little bit. Like, I don't know. Let's just see what happens here. Maybe it'll be terrible. I don't know. And live like a little bit freely like a mess and do it out loud. And I like to do it out loud in front of people.
Yeah, you need your extrovert friend to just be like, come on, we're going places.
Come on, girl. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's good for people to see. I don't know. There's plenty of people you watch on YouTube or any of the platforms, which is sometimes a garbage pail, but I I don't want that. I don't love a lot on social media where everyone's living out their whole lives in front of people, but I get
Oh
some of the
gosh, yeah.
merit of it, right? Like I'm hoping I don't look like that, but I'm hoping whatever I say maybe is helpful.
Hmm.
Just like music, hey, if a song was helpful, I feel like that is the job well done.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And I would like some of that. Um, there you go. And I want to find myself again, like, and because I know I want to go do cool shit as I regain my energy and my confidence and my remembering who I am, what I'm capable of. I
You just
want
gotta
to
remember, yeah.
move forward.
You just gotta remember, like, you're cool, so the stuff you do is cool shit.
Is that thanks, right?
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
I'm always going to do cool shit. No, I don't
Exactly.
know. Well, what's funny? It's like, you got to have that kind of faith in yourself somewhere, right? Like some
Yeah.
tiny nugget of like,
Gotta boost yourself.
yeah, even if you're quietly sort of like, well, if you like yourself, or even if it's like, I'm willing to be compassionate to myself. That's
Mhm.
liking yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Um, you may not love what you're going through or even maybe what you did or your mistakes or all of that, but be nice to yourself. I'm a huge proponent of self-compassion. I don't Life is not easy. Walking a human life is not easy. It's not supposed to be, I don't think. I mean, we deserve some fun though. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, life
Joy is
life
good.
is hard, so it's good to bring fun into it.
Yeah. And I have many times recently just been like, "Oh, I can't wait till that day when I wake up and this is long gone and past this moment, or whatever, and I'm just having a great time."
It'll happen, and then hopefully you'll take that moment to recognize it and be like, "Oh, hey,
Yeah.
this is that moment."
Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, I want to tell people, whomever's listening, we're going to put a bunch of links into things that are helpful. Like some of the things that have helped me is listening to like frequency or hertz music or binaural beats,
Oh.
meditation things, tapping methods, meditation. There's some great apps for meditation like Calm, counseling apps like BetterHelp,
Mhm.
Liven. I want to have an AI conversation with you on the next one. There's
That's
Ash, that's
I could go for
AI.
hours on
I
that
know,
stuff,
and I
yeah.
can't wait. Also want to tell folks, I am returning to doing a thing that I have called tonic sessions, and they are tonic, like health tonics, right? We're not drinking anything, but it's a session where we do a little bit of gentle yoga or stretching to get in the body,
Mhm.
meditation, and then journaling. And it's
It's cool.
meant the practice is meant to slow people down to the present, get back in their body, hear themselves, and just the practice of those things. So on
Everybody needs that too.
everyone, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's good for your body. And given all the shit going on in the world that is barely,
Is there something going on in the world?
ha ha, it's awful. The
Mhm.
overwhelm of that on top of it. Yeah. Whole other podcast. Anyways, it's May 3rd. It's tonic session, the in between. It's out on Eventbrite. It's a 2-hour comforting thing for it's $35. It's out on Eventbrite, tonic session in
Cool.
between. I'd love to have people who heard the podcast. If you heard the podcast and signed up, tell me. That would be amazing. Ryan, you should come. I think I'd love to get feedback and have people tell me like, was that helpful?
Yeah. Yeah. Should.
So I'm starting those tonic sessions again. Thank you, Ryan. Again, I'm really enjoying doing this podcast.
Oh, same.
Yeah. And there will be music at some point. Not yet. Not yet. It's either going to be super angry or
Or the most chill. Who knows?
I got a lot of fuck you in me right now. So, no, I'm just kidding. Not anyway, but, or heartfelt or whatever. Anywho, I'm looking forward. Next one, I think we should talk about the AI.
All right.
Counseling AI apps, and then anything else AI you want to talk about. Because I am going to say,
I'm big on the slippery slope of AI, so I'll be
are
ready
you?
for it. Yeah.
We might have to have a conversation out. Yeah, exactly. Because I will say, I'm going to say it, and people cringe at people I have told. I have used Chat GPT for counseling, and I have found it very helpful. It's like I could ask at any time, like I'm not losing my mind, and get a helpful answer. I don't love that I'm using Chat GPT for all the
Mhm.
political reasons.
We'll save that for the next episode. But yeah, I agree.
Okay.
It is controversial, but it's also like if it's helping, then that's usually a good thing. So.
I have found it helpful in my dire straits, right? Like
Mhm.
when I was dumb, but it has helped. But I need a conversation. I want to know the good, bad, and the ugly and the options or the thought. Okay, next podcast. Next podcast, people, is going to be about AI and counseling and other things. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. And we can
All
talk about the
right.
Zach Braff rumors if there's true. I don't know.
What? I don't even know. What?
Supposedly, I heard a rumor that he's dating an AI.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I didn't know that.
sorry,
That's
Zach.
weird.
Yeah.
What's that? See, so many questions now. What? Like, yeah, that's crazy. All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening. Ryan, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks.
And we will talk to you next time. All right. Take care.
Cool. All right. Bye, everyone.